Exercise 9K is about box plots. These are also called box and whisker plots. You can see one right here. So these are the whiskers and this is the box. So a box plot graphs the 5-number summary. So the 5-number summary is the minimum score, the lower quartile or Q1, the median or Q2, the upper quartile or Q3, and the maximum. So here's the minimum, this line here. Sometimes they have a dot instead of a line. Q1, Q2, Q3, and the maximum. So if these were like test results, for example, 25% of the class scored in here. This breaks things up into quartiles. So 25% scored between this score and this score, 25% of the class got between here and here, and 25% of the class got between that score and that score. So here's an example, here's some test results that we're going to put into a box plot. So we need to start by finding the 5-number summary. Now I always start from the middle and work my way out. So I need to count the number of scores. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 scores. So if we split that into 2 groups, just go down 1 to 16, there'd be 8 in each group plus that one in the middle. So that 9th score, that's the median. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that's our median. Now to find the lower quartile, remember we find the middle of this group of 8. So let's split it 4 and 4. And on the top half again, we'll split them 4 and 4. So let's write down what we've got. So right in the middle is our 43, that's our median or our Q2. Our lower quartile or Q1 is halfway between 29 and 30. Now we could add those, 59 and halve it, or we can just say 29 and a half is halfway between 29 and 30. So that's 29.5. And up here, halfway between 45 and 47, again, you could add them and halve it. You can just look at the last digits if you want. 5 plus 7 is 12, half of 12 is 6. It's going to end in a 6, and it's got to be 46. Halfway between 45 and 47. The lowest score is 20, and the highest score is 50. So that's our 5-number summary. So let's go ahead and put those into a box plot. So I've said these are test results, okay, test results. So it's probably a test out of 50 maybe. So the lowest score was a 20 out of 50. So I'm just going to put a vertical line. I'm just going to put a vertical line at each of these. Again, remember I said sometimes people put dots at the ends. I'm just going to do vertical lines. So a vertical line at 29.5, so that's about there. Notice my vertical lines cover 2 squares and there's a 1 square gap between my number line and where my lines are. So 43 is the next one, so that'd be 42 and a half there, so let's say right there. 46, so a bit more than 45, and 50 is our maximum. Okay, then get your ruler and line it up across the middle. So across the middle we draw our whiskers, 1 at each end, and then around the 3 middle lines we draw our box. So just try to follow those instructions really carefully when you're drawing your own. So there's our box plot. Now we may also be asked to find the range of the data or the interquartile range, and we can do that from the numbers or from our graph. So our range is our highest minus our lowest, 50 minus 20. So 50 minus 20, which is 30. And our interquartile range is this 46 minus this 29.5. 46 minus 29.5. So if I went from 46 down to 30, that'd be 16. This is just another 0.5 down further. So 16.5. We also may want to look at the middle 50%. So remember I said each area has 25%. 25% of the students got between 46 and 50. 25% got between this 43 and 46. 25% were between this 29.5 and this 43, and 25% were between this 20 and this 29.5. So the middle 50% is the box. So the middle 50% fall between this 29.5 and this 46. That middle 50% is really important because with statistics we often want to look around the middle and see what's going on around the middle. So it's kind of like saying there are 25% at the top and 25% at the bottom that are a little bit different from the rest of the class. But what's the rest of the class? What's half the class? So the middle half of the class, where do they lie? And their scores were between these two results.